Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I go by Rachel Ray on the internet, and today is Flosstube episode number 85, I believe. I'll just double check that because I'm always wrong about these sorts of things. It is 85. Wow, I was right. How about that? If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hopefully the thumbnail was funny enough to draw you in. And if this is not your first time, thank you for coming back, sincerely, just to check up on my crafty updates and to come and spend some time with me. Today's episode is going to be a very long one. I have a lot to show you, to talk about. I'm going to try my hardest to make it an hour. We'll see what happens. And I had to think. It has been a really long time since I talked about my preferences on things and such. If you don't already watch her, please go check out Pippa Brown's latest video. Pippa is someone that I follow here on YouTube, and she did a tag sort of questionnaire that my friend Mrs. Crochet and Coffee created for the diamond painting community, but she actually broke it up into each one of the crafts that she does. So not only did she talk about diamond painting, but she also talked about floss tube, cross stitch, crochet, and knitting. So I am planning to do the same thing for this Saturday. So if you are interested in all of the details of things that I enjoy with maybe a little bit of helpful hints and tips for beginners, that video is going to be really, really good for you to watch, I think, especially if you're new to cross stitching and if you don't know your preferences yet, because I do seem to get a lot of questions about that. Inserting myself here really quick because I totally forgot, and it's very like me for this to happen too. However, I was contacted by a lovely lady named Katarina. She is a designer who sells digital patterns on Etsy, and she creates them herself. She designs those patterns and she sells them herself on Etsy. I know that a lot of you are really into digital patterns like me. I love digital patterns. And she did reach out to me on Instagram and asked me if I would be willing to have a look at her shop. And if I saw something that I liked, she would give me a free download in exchange for a review of her patterns. And so I said, yes, that would be great. I looked at the catalog, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the website just here next to me so that you can see Etsy.com. Her store name is Reena Stitch, and she has many patterns on this site. I'm going to go ahead and open it so that I can see it as well. So you can see here there's 232 digital patterns just here. She has a lot of sales and a 5-star rating on Etsy. So there's a lot to choose from. There are many categories that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, but this is the one that I decided to go with. It's called Gnome Family, and I chose this one because it's actually more of a color block pattern, and I don't have many of those, and gnomes are really in right now. I know a lot of you are into the gnome thing. So I chose this one because it looks a little bit easier, but you could always, have a look at her site. She's got all kinds of things. In fact, when I looked at the gnomes section, or not the section, sorry, in here in all patterns, you could just scroll and keep scrolling. Like, look at this Halloween cross stitch pattern. Isn't that cool? And could you imagine doing this? Now, this is just a rendering. This is not an actual photograph of the stitching, of course, but could you imagine stitching that on 11 count Aida and then making it into a pillow? I could. There was a gnome stitch along as well. I believe it's here on page 2 or page 3. Here it is. Gnome Sal. And I thought that a lot of you would be interested in this. Now it's a little bit more expensive, but it is all of the gnomes in a stitch along. So there are 4 gnomes, it looks like. And this is for a 12-month design. So you're going to get 12 of them, and you get to join a Facebook group as well. So please check out Reena Stitch over on Etsy. Favorite her shop by clicking the little heart button. Just give her some love. She is a really nice designer, I think, and I do like what she has to offer, especially when it comes to those, like, you know, random typography bits that you're looking for. She has all of that kind of stuff here. So thank you so much, Katarina, for sending me the free gnome pattern. I cannot wait to start that. That would have to be in December before I can start it, because I'm doing a no start November at the moment. But I'm very excited to get that one ready and kit it up so that I can start it when we get into December. Thank you so much. And going back to the video, let's talk about giveaways. Last week on my channel, I had a giveaway where I was giving away this kit. This is a 3-in-1 cross-stitching kit from the World of Cross-Stitching magazine that I subscribed to last year. This has the fabric and the threads and the patterns for 3 cupcakes. And I asked in the last video that if you were interested in this kit, to please write the word cake in your comment. The way that I run these giveaways on my channel is that I ask you to use a magic word. And so in this instance, it was cake. I also ask that you are over the age of 18 so that I can get your consent to contact you and to get your mailing address. I ask that you don't use the word giveaway, prize, contest, or anything like that in your comment, because that will bring the trolls. Nobody likes trolls. And then I ask that you fill in my contact form. I have I've called it a Happy Mail form based on previous floss tubers that have used this idea as well. And I just ask for your actual name, your name on YouTube, name on other platforms, just in case you win something on another platform, and then your email address, like a working email address where I can contact you. So we ran the random comment picker, which you're seeing a video of right here. The 24 people, out of the 24 people, the winner was Tiffany Totally Colors. Congratulations, Tiffany. She's a brand new person in my channel. She says, she's brand new to the Happy Mail form. That's really cool. So even if you haven't been here for a long time, you still have a chance if you want to participate in any giveaways. So I've gone ahead and I've contacted her since I have her email address, and this is going to be on the way to her just as soon as I get her mailing address. So thank you, Tiffany, and thank you to those 24 people who commented, as well as everybody who watched the video. Thank you all so, so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Now, there was something that I wanted to say as well that I totally missed my 2-year Flosstube anniversary. I have been on YouTube for, well, actually, in fairness, I've been on YouTube for a long time, but I've only been making crafting videos since September of 2018, and I've only been stitching since October. Well, I haven't been making Flosstube videos since October 25th, 2019. So my 2-year anniversary has passed, and I have something really special for you, but you're going to have to wait to see what that is. So if you are interested in, maybe getting an opportunity to win something, please make sure that you have filled in my Happy Mail form that is linked down below. If you've already filled it in, you don't need to fill it in again. If your details have changed, you need to contact me. Okay, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee real quick before we continue. I have a lot to share, so much, and I wanted this to kind of be a relaxed episode, something that you can have, that you can listen to while you are stitching or knitting or diamond painting. So the first thing I am going to talk about is not stitchy related, because it's the elephant in the room, and that is my shawl. This is my fully finished, knitted blocked and dried Stephen West's MCAL Shawlography, which is his latest knit along. Now, I ended it very early, but what do you think? It doesn't go with my top, but let me take it off so you can see properly. Here it is. I'm looking through the holes here so I can see where we are. So this is the shawl. It's gorgeous, right? I'm going to try my best here. Okay. So at the very top, we have the wedge section. And now that it is completely stretched out, or stretched out as much as I can get it, you can definitely see those colors popping out from behind the dark burgundy colors. Then we have this slip stitch section, which was so fun to knit. So wonderful. Then we have these funky, which you can barely see. You can kind of see if I move it around, see how stretched out this section is. This is called the I-cord loop section. And each one of these little, some people were calling them shrimp. They kind of do look a little bit like shrimp. Those little shrimpies are just I-cord, little tiny I-cords. And while it was a little bit tedious, it was still quite fun to do. I'm just going to hold it like this now. We'll go like this. Then we have over here, this section right here. This was a coordinating knit and purl with slip stitches that go from the bottom of one row up and over the contrasting color. Then we have the wedges, which the wedges are just stockinette with a slip stitch that comes all the way across, and it kind of bunches it up so it looks like a little packet. And you can see how 3D, it's really 3D. You might not be able to see it unless you're in person, but it's just a little parcel right there. Next, I'll hold it this way because this is the way that I knit it. There's this triangle section, which is really fun. I did mess up in this section. I added too many stitches here at the end, so I had to decrease. And that's fine. It all worked out in the end. I love these colors together. I really, really like that light color. And then on the very top center of these triangles, we have these bobbles. I love that it's dot, dot, and there's a big bobble. So it's a red dot, and then a big bobble, and so on and so on. Then we have this is kind of like a German, no, this isn't a German short row, is it? Anyway, these long sections here. I don't think that this made the best use of color for my shawl, but it works. It looks a little bit dirty because of the speckling, but I think that rusty, like, kind of splotchiness, it looks good in person, but on camera it kind of looks funky. Up here we have everybody's, well, I wouldn't say favorite. It's my favorite, but most people were pretty scared of this. This is brioche right here, the two reds together. Truthfully, I wish that I had changed the colors around because I think that this side looks way more striking. However, it wouldn't have gone with the wedges and everything else if the top color hadn't been the dark burgundy color. And then we have crisscross. There's supposed to be a section that is this huge diagonal color stripe. Y'all, when I got to the crisscross, I was like, I'm done. Because look how big it is. If I wear it like a shawl, wrong way. Center it a little bit. This is what it looks like as the shawl. And I think that that's plenty big enough. There is very little give in it though. The wedge section, I think, or maybe the bobble section is the one that's, yeah, bobble. Bobble is keeping me from bringing it closer to me. So that is just one little meh part. But these are perfectly long and cover. And going forward, if I want to wear it, I'll probably have to wear it a little bit like that. So just so that you can see, where did my thingy go? Where's Francis? Francie, where are you? There you are. Last time that we spoke, I was on the I-cord bind off, and I had only done from here to here. So that's the bind off that I did in the week. So yeah, that is, and I'll get a bit more centered now. That is Stephen West's Mystery Knit Along, all done. I will talk more about knitting later on in the video. So let's move on to cross stitch. I just really wanted to share that with you because I knew I was going to get lots of questions about it. And I'm going to take Francie, my stitch marker, my stitch marker off. I love this during the Halloween season. This came from Little Bish's Stitches.com, I believe. .com. She's in Germany. Since I live in the EU, it's wonderful. I got a little Halloween box and that was in it. Love it. All right, let's talk cross stitch. Cheers. Coffee. By the way, I'm still very much in the fall mood. This is going to change in December, I promise. I had a finish. Not a fully finished object, but a finish. And I think you're going to be very proud of me because it wasn't on my new rotation, this thing that I've been doing for like 3 weeks now. 2 weeks. 3 weeks? Don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Look. I finished my Quirky Quaker Loch Ness by Darling and Whimsy Designs. So this is from Deanna of Darling and Whimsy. This is just a small cross stitch project that I had started for Season of Smalls, hashtag Season of Smalls. That's an event that my friend Jessie at Mislaid Pages does for 2 years in a row now. And yeah, I started this in September and I just finished it a few days ago. I think on the 15th or the 14th. This is stitched on a not your average dyer fabric and floss. It's unnamed. This is a 32 count even weave. Might be a Joblin. And that's a variegated green floss that was used. It doesn't have a name, but Not Your Average Dyer is in the UK and they are on Etsy. I have them linked in my link haven, or you can just search Etsy for all one word, Not Your Average Dyer. So that's a finish. I haven't had a finish in a very, very long time for cross stitch. And I feel really good about that, even if it's a small. Basically what happened was when I was doing my little rotation, I needed a new Q-snap. This was still on a Q-snap from when I first put it on the Q-snap. And I was like, I don't want to work on it. Meh. Because I don't know, my brain fights me sometimes. I have to have lots of different projects, okay? I'm not a monogamous stitcher. But sometimes, like the other day, I said there was a hanging thread here and none of the outside border, none of these little motifs on the inside, or this top edge of the frame was finished, but there was a hanging thread there, and I said, I'll finish the thread and then I'll take it off the Q-snap. And then what happened? I finished the whole dang thing. I was like, well, I might as well just keep going. It's not that many stitches. So there you go. You can buy the PDF of these patterns on Darling and Whimsy Designs store on Etsy, or you can find them at your local needlework shop, whether that be online or in store. She has a whole range of quirky Quakers, by the way. She has mythical creatures, but she also has regular creatures, and they're super cute. She's had 2 new releases so far that I've seen for 2021, for winter 2021, and I think you're going to love them. So just putting it out there. My hair has decided to go extremely limp, probably because of the weather. Anyway, next up, Wednesdays was for Foxview. Foxview by Plum Street Samplers. I have it in a Caroline bag. This is one of her originals. This is, let's see. I don't have a start date on it. This is 32 count. Picture This Plus in sand. The color sand. I think my needle minder is for Mad for Minders. I'm not sure, to be honest, anymore. And this is where we got to. So last time I did not have the bees done. I only had the yellow part of the bees done. So I've done all the back stitching. See if it'll, there we go. Done all the back stitching and everything of the bee. I've done this whole flower. I did that bee. I did the stem and this flower, I think, and then all of this on the inside of the hill. Now, on the pattern, I don't know where I'm going. On the pattern, it says that the color in the hill should be Classic Colorworks in Nature's Trail. I believe. I have the pattern right here. See, this is what it's supposed to look like if I didn't put any picture in, but you can see here there's the hill here, and that is a nature trail. I don't have that for some reason. It was fully kitted, or I thought it was fully kitted, but I don't have it in here. So I substituted. I went to my thread ring of doom. Just hit myself in the face with thread. I have a bunch of these. This one in particular has a bunch of threads that I've used before in different projects. This one right here, if you're wondering, I should have a what's that section. This is all of my thread that I'm going to be using for the Gotta Catch 'Em All Sal. I'll talk about that in plans. I've got a Dinky Dyes one, and then I have a Victorian Motto one. I need more places to hang things on my wall. But anyway, I went through and I found Moss Boss by Almond M&Ms. Almond M&Ms is a silk dyer from New York City. She has an Instagram and she does lots and lots and lots of silks. And I got this. I think I have a few. Hang on. Oh, please. Ah, no, that's a 12. If I reach, you can see she sells these silks in teeny tiny itty bitty nuggets. That's what I call them. I'll put them back later. So I unwound it. I put it on a floss drop that I got from Jessie, Mislaid Pages, and I'm using this for the hill. I hope you're liking the unedited version of Rachel today, because just gonna leave it at that. So I went ahead and I used this beautiful silk here for the background. Now what I'm gonna have to do though, because it doesn't jive too well with these blues, I'm going to outline the blue in maybe a brown, just to make it pop from the back of the hill, from the hill there. So there will be some back stitching that I'm going to put in there, just so that those flowers will pop off of the hill. But I'm very close, and I am going to be working on this today as well. I'm loving working this on Wednesdays. It's making me very happy, so I'm going to keep going. What I did notice this week, while I'm putting this away, one thing I did notice is that I think that 7 projects is just too much, because I don't stitch every day. Sometimes I just don't get the right amount of time to stitch. Or I'll show you another project in just a moment that just, I can't stitch on it unless it's daytime. I'm not old, but my eyes act like they're old. All right, next up, on Thursdays, we wear pink. No, on Thursdays, I have been working on Bathy Threads Bellflower. This is a William Morris design. It's an original, tapestry art by William Morris. You may recognize his art style. And I started in the upper left-hand corner back in Mania 2020. This is on kit fabric, kit floss, using a paper pattern. Y'all know me and paper patterns. I am not a paper pattern girl, but I'm gonna fold it up a bit because it looks better when it's got a really solid background to go off of. Okay, here we are. So one more week and I have filled in most of the white at the top. I just need to fill in over here. I filled in all of the flowers and all of the green in those colors, except for this side, because I ran out of floss and I didn't want to keep going down. I wanted to go across. I'm trying to work this piece a little bit more organically in motifs, and that's kind of how I want to go. And what I'm doing, I'm doing a method that's called, there's a word for this, where you take the thread, you go over about 5-6 stitches, you come up, and then you cut the floss. And basically what happens, I'll show you the back. What happens is that you end up stitching over those threads in the back. So my back is not perfect, but it's pretty neat. I don't care. I would care if I was entering this into some kind of contest where they were, looking at that sort of thing. But this is just for me. So you should not put pressure on yourself if that's not your thing. All right, that was Thursday, and then Friday. Okay, Fridays, I have been working on the Creepy Cryptid Sal by the Witchy Stitcher. And, cheers, coffee. I have to stay hydrated. I lose focus otherwise. Creepy Cryptid Sal is, SAL is Stitch Along. The Witchy Stitcher kind of does more, what's going on with my hair? Does more goth patterns. It's very much my style. Let's just put it that way. And this started in October, I believe. So I'm very far behind now. I was keeping up, but I'm not keeping up. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'll put a picture here on the screen of where they are now. They just released the Yeti last Friday, And this Friday there will be one more cryptid, and then the last week, is it this week or no, next week, there won't be a cryptid drop. But I finished Chupacabra. Come on. There is something about this piece. Oh, there we go. There's something about this piece where my camera hates focusing. So there's my Chupacabra. Can you see his little tooth? It's so cute. It is very hard to see this piece. There are 2 different greens in there. This is back stitched. And I started working on the frame. I had to frog this out. That's why I'm behind, because I messed up. But whatever, it doesn't matter. No one's perfect. For the skull, there are 2 colors that I don't have in my stash, which are 435 and 437. Yes, 435 and 437. So what I did, there is a website called thread-bear.com. They have this thing called the DMC, what is it called? Closest DMC thread color lookup. So if you don't have a color in your stash, but you need it ASAP, then go to that website. Just Google it, okay? Google closest DMC thread color lookup or tool, and the website will pop up. So I put DMC 435 into the website, and it gave me about 8 options of colors. And so I chose the next color that I had in my stash, which was DMC 420. For 437, I chose 422. So that's how that works. Just so that you know, and I do have a link for that in my link haven as well. So Chupacabra is now done, officially done. By the way, this needle minder right here is from the Black Needle Society's Halloween trick-or-treat box. Oh, but the magnetism on it is weird. If anybody has some suggestions for how to fix magnetism in large magnets, please let me know in the comment section. So that one, I was working a little bit every day, kind of using it for my 25/7 type thing, which is 25 minutes of cross stitching every day, or 25 stitches every day on a project, and it'll eventually get done. I have trouble committing to everyday tasks. So sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. That was Friday. Saturday. Yes, Saturday. It's covered in cat fur now, but this is a Marissa bag. Look, it has 2 different sides. Isn't it pretty? Beautiful. Marissa's The Crafty Heifer here on YouTube. This project I've been doing on Saturdays when I can, and it's called The New Normal. Or A New Normal. The New Normal? A New Normal? I think it's the. Anyway, New Normal by Long Dog Samplers. And of course I started in the upper left. It just makes sense to my brain. Worked on this for about 2 hours. I got a lot of stitching in, but I'm using Pattern Keeper for this. And for this particular piece, my margins were wrong. So I had to put the PDF into the program again. So I lost all of where I was. Yeah. So I had to redo it anyway. I had to highlight all of the stitches that I had completed. So I'm pretty sure that I'm all good now, but the margins at least match, which was the important thing. And this is the piece of fabric that it goes on. This is a hand-dyed piece by my friend Jessie, Mislaid Pages. Hopefully, Jessie will feel compelled to dye more fabrics in the future because they're beautiful. Love it. I'm going to fold it a little bit more. All right, this way I can show you. So, focus. You see that it's opalescent? This is, I'll get it to focus on my hand first, and then I'll move it slowly over. There we go. I worked on the right-hand side motif. You can see that I kind of stopped threads here and there. I work kind of willy-nilly on this piece, but it makes sense to me, the counting that I do. And this is basically the tail. I'll show you again the picture. This is the tail of a unicorn. And, oh, and you can see a squirrel. Can you see the squirrel? Looks like a squirrel. I think it's a squirrel. Let's look. Right here. It's a mouse. It's a mouse. So see how that's the tail of the unicorn that we're doing? So that's where I am. And that's what I've gotten complete. Just this little portion right there. So I have a lot to go. I love working on this piece. I want to keep working on this piece forever. Mostly because I love the color of this fabric. I think that the just plain black 310 DMC on this piece of fabric is perfect. This is oh, sorry, I forgot to say. All of the details, by the way, of every project, if you're looking for the count of things and I ever forget to say it, is listed in my WIP list. I have a WIP list that details like the WIPs that I'm working on, where they come from, you know, like who the pattern's by, the color of the fabric, the size of fabric, the types of threads. So this is all DMC with cryptids. It's all DMC on 16 count Bee Stitch Me Dreamsicle Ada, using called for colors with just the 2 substitutions that I told you about. This is, I've written it down, I think it's 28 count opalescent even weave. Isn't it incredible for even weave? Incredible. I absolutely love the fabric, and because it has such deep meaning for me because Jessie dyed it, I love working on it, and it's really special and I want it done. So I have that kind of pushing me forward. All right, Sundays. Sundays are for Savor Life by Kate Landis, Catherine Landis. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I have to use a project bag otherwise you will see through this fabric. This is Savor Life and all its magic. So, this piece is a favorite of mine because of the floss or the fabric color. This came in the Night Garden Retreat in a Box from the Black Needle Society. Came with this needle minder, all the flosses, the fabric, all of the finishing fabrics and trim. Fantastic. I thought it was great because not only did you get the fully kitted project, which was a mystery, you got a second pattern and you got the online retreat for an entire weekend. I think it was 5 days actually, an online retreat where we were able to like pop in and out of rooms and talk to people as well as do stitching challenges and win prizes. So I had a really good time. Everyone is asking me, what is this fabric? This is called French Lilac by Picture This Plus, and this is a 36 count linen. I think the DMC that closest matches this fabric color is 327. I did a DMC fabric swatch on my Twitch the other day when I was stitching live, and when this gets on outside of natural light, it turns burgundy. It turns like a wine color, and it's not. It's very much not. It's very dark, dark, dark purple. I love it. So, and since the last week, I did the 2 moons. The moon on the right-hand side, the crescent moon, was not filled in. The one on the left was not stitched at all. And then I finished and its. Those 2 words there. And it's looking great. I'm using 1 strand over 2 fabric threads on 36 count. That equivalent in Aida is 18 count. So I also use 1 thread over 1 strand on 18 count Aida. And if you need more information about the whole counting thing, like what over what, I highly recommend watching videos on it or just Googling it, because that's how I learned. At first, it's super confusing, but basically if you look at the weft and the weave of this, you'll see that there are threads that go left to right and up and down, of course. If you're skipping and it looks like a tic-tac-toe box when you cross stitch, you're skipping one of the threads in the middle. It means that you're going over 2. If you're not making a tic-tac-toe box, you're just making an X and there's nothing in the middle, that means it's over 1. And when you work with Aida, it's always over 1 because there's never a hole in the middle of the Aida square. I hope that makes sense. Maybe you don't have to Google it. Hopefully I explained it succinctly enough. That comes with the called for colors, which are Gentle Arts and Weeks that came with the kit. And I don't see any more stitching in front of me. Monday I rolled on my my whip wheel. I rolled Grimm's Fairy Tales. I did not stitch on Monday. And Tuesday, I've been obsessed with this game called Stardew Valley. It's so much fun. I love farming games. I love quest games where you have to get items and turn them in and advance. Anyway, I'm obsessed with this game. So I did not stitch on Monday. Tuesday, I stitched on the Savor Life piece because I was live on Twitch, and I had the lighting behind me so that I could do some stitching on it. But I did not do my Tuesday piece, which was Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm going to keep the rotation exactly the same for the upcoming week. I'm not going to make any changes to it whatsoever. 1 more week of this, and I will have a new rotation come December 1st. So get ready. It's going to be really fun. Now, let's talk plans, then haul, then giveaway, and then yarn stuff, knitting. So plans. Those are some of my plans, clearly. Some upcoming things that I have that will be included in that is what's happening over here. I'll put a picture here on the screen for you so that you can see. I'm going to be starting the epic Pokemon Sal stitch along. It's not a stitch along. I'm kind of creating a stitch along. The epic Pokemon chart by Lord Libidin in the extended version, which means that there is a background behind the characters. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Right. So, Epic Pokemon by Lord Libidin is a free pattern. If I didn't say that, I'm doing the extended version so that we have the full impact of the Pokemon kind of popping out and having all of their wings and things. If you want, you can always just do the standard version, which is kind of cut off at the edges, and it doesn't have any background colors as such. But you can have a look and decide for yourself which one suits you better. That I am going to start on stream on December the 2nd. December 2nd, 2021, which is in just over 2 weeks' time, 15 days from today, from filming. So please, if you would like to join me, I'm going to use the hashtag GottaCatchEmAllSal just to follow everybody's progress and, you know, enjoy watching you set up. So feel free to share, you know, what fabric you're working on and, you know, what flosses you're using. It just calls for DMC, but it does call for 105 colors, which is why I've taken the time. It took me days to make all of these floss rings with the DMC number and the symbol. I don't want to dip it in my coffee. There are 105 colors here. These are off-brand DMC colored flosses that I got on Amazon. I will have them linked in my link haven if you would like to purchase them for this stitch along. It was an entire set of DMC, and I know that I am going to need more of certain colors, but this is a fantastic start. And considering how big the project is, I'm probably not going to run into that problem for a little while. So that is the Pokemon. I will be working on that project probably mostly exclusively on Twitch. Twitch is a streaming service. Let me wrap my Twitch, TWITCH, twitch.tv is a streaming website where people like me go and we sit there and work on projects live. There's actually quite a good community of makers there. And you could spend quite a lot of time getting to know people who regularly come into the rooms and everything. I'm really going to be working hard on my presence on Twitch and building a little community over there, and you're more than welcome. I have the link to Twitch down below. All you have to do is click the follow button and it will send you an email when I go live, which at the moment is somewhere around 12 o'clock noon Irish time, which is very, very early in the United States. But I will be incorporating more streams probably in the future, or changing those times and having a schedule where for the first week it'll be at this time, and the second week of the month this time, and the third week this time, and the fourth week this time. That way everybody has a little bit of a chance to come in and spend time with me. So that is that. The reason, just a little aside, the reason that I don't go live on YouTube is because I physically can't. I have tried for years, and for whatever reason, it's not my internet connection. My internet connection is fine. YouTube does not like me. So I do not go live on YouTube anymore. I haven't for years. So Twitch is the next best thing, and it's much more interactive. It's much more fun. I think you're really going to like it. So please give it a try someday. More plans. So plans for December, I was talking about. I'm going to update my rotation. Since it is in the following week, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I have a Cal's Crafts bag with my Bendy Stitchy designs. Michelle Garrett, Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy. I have Trimming the Tree. This is going to be a focus piece for me. I don't know what day. We'll talk about that next week. I'll talk about all the fabrics and stuff like that as well next week. But these are the ones that I've pulled specifically for December. There may be other ones involved as well. Another Christmas new start is going to be Renato Perelin's Christmas. This is a beautiful tree. I found this on Etsy, this printed chart on Etsy. It's a very detailed tree. I first saw this piece on Michelle's Bendy Stitchy's Flosstube. I'm using this beautiful piece of brown fabric from Fortnite. And I will be starting that in the first week of December. Hi, Gigi. I have a kitty. This is Gigi, by the way. This is my rescued cat, and now Luna is gonna go bananas, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're just gonna have a kitty in the background. Hopefully Luna won't go crazy. Another December WIP that I would like to pull out is Wakanda Forever by Park Hopper Bart. I want to finish this piece in December. This is a gift for a friend, and it is so pretty. Just to give you a little sneak peek, no details until next week, but this is what I have so far. I want to give it some love. This piece is very special to me, and it's on the most beautiful linen by Mystic Fabrics. Oh my gosh. We have that one to work on. And then, last but not least, is going to be my Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. This is the one with the specialty stitches. It's not, there's two versions. There's a full cross stitch version and a specialty stitch version. And I am doing the one with specialty stitches. Now, I've had some people ask me to show how to do the stitches, so I would like to do that, but I've already done 2 bands and they're not perfect. I'm not a perfect stitcher. This is on a Lugana, a black Lugana that I got from Amazon, and I'm pretty sure that that is linked in my link haven as well. This was a Stitch Mania 2020 new start with the full Dinky Dye silk pack that I purchased from my friend Jessie at Mislaid Pages. She has a website, mislaidpages.com, where she sells cross-stitching accoutrements. So those are all of the planned new starts. I need to find a bag for those. I may end up using this tote bag that I got from my Black Needle Society Halloween trick-or-treat box. You just like to be the tallest thing in the room. This is Gigi, by the way. She may purr into the microphone. She likes to do that. So that is stitching. Luna, please settle. Then I have haul. So if you're ready, we're going to move from plans into haul. Haul this week is very special to me because I purchased this months ago. And actually, I'll show you. I'll get the, I will get the pattern. All right, sorry. My hair is getting askew because now I'm digging for things. I have a whole cube, you know, one of those organizer cloth cube things full of kitted up projects. And one of the projects that I really wanted to kit up is a Bella Filipina called Gaia, the Earth Goddess. I purchased this pattern eons ago. Sorry, Luna's clacky toes. And I got the perfect fabric for it. Let me see, it's listed here. A half a yard of 16 count Aida from Be Stitch Me. This is called Tree Hugger. So she'll be on this green. And I think it's perfect. I think it's wonderful. I don't like that flat olive color. I much prefer a mottled background. Even if it's a little bit busy, it'll be fun to stitch on, and that's all that matters to me. I am a process stitcher, not a product stitcher, meaning I like the process of stitching. I'm not necessarily enabled to finish things. I'm not driven by finishes. So I went to a website called hawkinshobbies.co.uk. They are a UK-based LNS. That's not local to me anymore. Before June of this year, it would have been, but now it's got extra taxes and import fees, and it actually got stuck. So I made a purchase. It arrived in Ireland. It did not pass customs. It went back to the UK. They received it again. They resent it, and it came the next time. I had to pay almost 25 euros in import fees, but I didn't care because I got the entire floss pack in DMC. Actually, I'm going to open it. I got the entire DMC thread pack. Aren't our threads beautiful? I would love to do a floss toss for you. Where did I put the fabric? But this will have to do for now. GG. I've cut out the cat attacking the dog. I got the entire bead pack for Gaia. Look at these beautiful beads, okay? Oh my gosh. And yes, you can bead on Ada. That is no problem. I think my favorite is the second one. Oh, they're so pretty. Now, these are Mill Hills. They're incredibly expensive, but in my mind, worth it. Also, it came with a pack of Krynic and specialty floss. So these, let me just turn around the water lily. There's one Caron water lily, and the rest are all Krynic, which Krynic is incredibly hard to come across for some reason. Manufacturing delays, I assume. But here are the Krynics and the Caron water lily. Oh, so pretty. So all of that on that beautiful mottled green fabric. That was my haul. Aside from the 18 count Ada that I'm going to be using for the Pokemon, that is all of the stitchy goodness that I have to share with you right now. So, move closer because this is the exciting part. I have a giveaway for you all. It's a lot for me, but it's not as much as what some other people are doing. So I'm going to try to explain where I'm coming from. Since I live in Ireland, it's really difficult for me to ship things these days. And because I have such an international audience, I want to be able to help you all. My original intent earlier this year was to have a giveaway with these items, but it was a very difficult time, and we were just going through all of that pandemic stress with the post office. So what I have for you, before I show you, again, go fill in the Happy Mail form. You could do that right now while I'm talking if you like, or you could pause me if you have not filled it in before, because if I draw your name, that's the cat. If I draw your name and you're not on my Happy Mail form to contact, I have no way of contacting you, and I could get scammed. That's the idea. So please fill it in, be over 18, and do not, in your comment anywhere, say giveaway, prize, win, or any other contest. No words like that, please. Please. If we have to call it something, let's call it the thing, okay? That thing you're doing. I am going to give away the patterns, the flosses, and fabric essentially a full kit, for the 2-part saltwater scrapbook. This was I'm going to put up a picture on the screen. I'm so sorry. It's all in plastic. I don't want to take them all out. This is a 2-parter, a collaboration between the Blue Flower, Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower, and Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. This came out at, was it Expo in the spring or something? And this is a very summery pattern, but I absolutely love it. I love all of the details. These two designers have such beautiful styles when it comes to whimsical stitching. And that is the type of stitching that I love to do, is whimsical. I was trying to think of a category to put myself in as far as YouTube and Flosstube goes. What kind of stitcher am I? I am a whimsical stitcher. And these designs really spoke to me. So on Lindy Stitch's side, we have a ship with a mast on a very large wave. We have some fish with hooks, a sea turtle, and a hammerhead shark that looks a little confused as to why it's there. We have an octopus and an anchor with these beautiful flowers that are underwater. We have a pirate and a parrot with some palm trees. And we have these seagulls, which I really want to stitch myself. I actually purchased a paper pattern for myself as well. It reminds me of that scene in that movie where they're going, what do they say? Mine, mine, mine. Love it, love it. So that is the Lindy Stitches side. And this is the Blue Flower side. So we have some squirrels that are under an ice cream truck, and they're eating their ice creams with a sand bucket, and like they're having a day at the beach. We have another octopus with a sandcastle and a hat. It's wearing a hat. We have a girl jumping off of a dock with a dog, the sun, a seagull, and these waves here. And then we have this, you could put this in the center if you like. I love to be by the sea with seahorses and a mermaid and a sand dollar. I will put the finished picture, if I haven't already put it, the finished picture, if you want to put them all together, you can do that, or you can cut them up and put them in little blocks. But what I had done, this has all gotten delayed. My original intention got delayed, so I have to try to improvise. My improvisation is, I had already kitted the Weeks Dye Works and the DMC. I have everything for Blue Flower. I don't have every DMC for Lindy Stitches. So as a consolation for that, because you will have to purchase some DMC, because the rest of the DMC that I had ordered, if it doesn't get here in time, the rest of it is in transit. So I don't know if you've been following me for a while or if you know this or not. My friend Jessie, I had a box being put together of all the things stitchy related into one big box, and part of that was all the rest of the DMC needed for the chart for the Lindy Stitches side. If it does arrive before I draw a winner, then I will include it. And the winner, we will talk about what type of fabric you like. Do you like linen? Do you like even weave? Do you like Aida? What color do you want? Do you want it to be light blue? Do you want it to be mottled? Do you want it to be a cream color? Probably not a cream color because there's a lot of yellows in here, but like a light blue or a dark blue. Whatever you want, we will decide on a store, like if it's a Fortnite or a Fire Poppies 1-2-3 Stitch. Maybe it's a store that's on Etsy in Europe or wherever you are located, because I want this to be open. I will help you to decide what fabric you want, and I will buy you a piece of fabric. So 2 patterns. Goodness, the cat is having a blast. Some of the DMC at least. If I can't get you all the DMC, at least there's some, and the called for Weeks Dye Works, and a piece of fabric. And if you would like to win the whole shebang, within the comment somewhere, please use the word salt water, just one word. See how it's, I don't know if you can read the script very well, but salt water, SALTWATER, all one word, salt water, for Saltwater Scrapbook. I am going to choose a winner on the Flosstube of December 1st. So Wednesday, December 1st, the winner will be announced. That way it's open for 2 weeks. Good luck. I hope you haven't purchased it already. I really wanted to kit it all up and then send it to you because I have fabric coming. I have the DMC coming, but it's actually probably better if you choose what fabric you like best rather than me just guessing for you. So 2 patterns, some thread at least, and fabric that we will do later on. All right, that is this upcoming giveaway. Good luck, everybody. Thank you so much for watching my floss tubes and being here with me. I'm not finished yet, so don't go away. Thank you. Your feedback on my random creativity actually really does encourage me to keep going, because sometimes I do feel a little bit like maybe I'm too random to do cross stitch, or maybe I shouldn't make these videos because, you know, I have anxiety and depression, and so those voices sometimes get a little bit loud. Sometimes they sit in the back and they don't bother me too much, and sometimes I am pretty hard on myself. So thank you for sticking by me and watching these videos. It really makes my day, and a big hug to everybody who watches. Come on, get in. If you ever make it to Ireland and you want to meet up for a coffee, reach out. I'm here, and I'm just a chick in a craft room. So there's that. All right, let's talk about knitting, because I have more knitting to talk about. I have all these things. More projects that are kitted up that go back in the box. Please excuse my kitty in the background. Let's talk about, so I talked about this, as you saw. I have to cut the ends. They're all woven in. All of my ends, Luna, all of my ends are woven in here. I just need to trim them. I don't like to trim them until after I have soaked and blocked the piece. That way I know that they've been fully stretched out and I can cut them nice and close. So I had a finish, a restart, that doesn't count as a start, and a whip. Worked on a whip. Where is it though? That is the question. Where it be? All right. A long time ago, I was doing a scrappy blanket, and I was having trouble because the pattern, in the pattern, it was like a chevron. So each row was like an arrow looking thing. And at the top, you had to make one left and make one right. And it was breaking my brain trying to remember that repeat. And even after, I want to say even after 5, 6, 7 hours, I couldn't remember it. It just wasn't sticking. So I've picked up something new. I picked up something called the Cozy Memories blanket. Now, I found this particular pattern because I searched on Ravelry for scrappy blanket, and I saw a few, and then I came across this term called a mitered something stitch. I'm very new at knitting, by the way, if you didn't know. And I found free patterns. Perfect. I love free. Everybody loves free, right? But then I was like, I don't know how to do that. Now, I don't know if this still counts as mitered, but this was the YouTube tutorial that I found for free, and I will have it linked in my link haven with all the knitting stuff. I am making a scrappy blanket called Cozy Memories. The pattern is free on YouTube, the tutorial and everything. And this is my start, my restart of my scrappy blanket in a new pattern. Something that's super easy to remember. And I'm going to use up any leftovers I have from projects and yarns that I don't want to use in other projects. I have a lot of mini skeins. That's not all of the mini skeins I have. I have more mini skeins on that corner. As you can see, this all of my yarn stash. And there's more in the closet. But especially these yarns that I got from the Things in Life mini skein club from Little Bish's Stitches. And all of the yarns that had like HP names and stuff like that. I'm using all of those in here so that they don't go to waste because they're very pretty, but it's going to be my scrappy blanket. So what do you think? Well, you just pick up, you just keep picking up, and there'll be rows and rows and rows and rows with all of these rib lines facing the same direction. If you were in my Zoom, I have a Patreon. That's a place where if you're not big into, let's just talk real quick, real quick. If you want to support your creators, there's a few things you could do. If you only want to follow people on YouTube, that's cool. I highly recommend getting YouTube Premium so that you never see an ad again. Your favorite creators, those people that you watch regularly, those people that are monetized will get paid by YouTube a little bit more because you have YouTube Premium and you don't have to sit through ads. It's wonderful. But if you don't want to do that, but you want to support a specific person, I have a Patreon page. I don't recommend signing up now. You can sign up whenever you want, though. Next month will be free because I cannot commit to anything in the month of December. In my Patreon, I have several monetary tiers. So depending on how much money you want to spend a month, I have a tip jar. I have where you can keep up to date with weekly updates and pictures and things, whatever I can send. I have a vlog tier, a live stream tier, and a Zoom tier. And the higher you go, you get everything underneath that tier. So think of it as a pyramid. And the people that have the Zoom have all the other stuff too. So on and so on. In my Zoom, I actually had another square done, but when I finished it, it was the middle bit was facing the wrong way and I had to pull it out. But that's okay. You know why? Because each square only takes maybe about an hour. So it's not a big deal if you mess up. Love it. Cozy Memories on YouTube. And then I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. I hope you don't mind. It's important to stay hydrated. I know it's been over an hour. Then I pulled out my old WIP. Look, this is my Michelle Bendy knitting bag. I got this from a D-stash of hers. Look at those cute sheep wearing socks. They're wearing leg warmers, actually. There's 2 without, or 3. It repeats, but anyway, whatever. It's so cute. In this bag, this gigantic bag, which is way too big for the project that's in it at the moment, is my Stephen West Slip Stravaganza, which was last year's mystery knit-along. I am using yarn that my friend Heike at Stone Cold Coffee Crafts dyed for me for Christmas last year. So this was my present. I got a gray. I got purple. And pink. These are all my colors. And I got more, actually. They're still down here. mixes, but these were the more solid ones. And then I'm using a black. Look at this black. It's like a void black. I don't know the color of it anymore. Actually, hold on. Do I have the thing on it? Yeah, this is Bathy and the Squid. Look at this beautiful. Oh, Bathy and the Squid is based in the UK. I got one of their holiday like countdown calendars last year. This is Midnight Black, 75/25 merino nylon, superwash. Now, this is a bit thin. Sometimes my camera, there we go. Hi camera. This is a little bit thin compared to the other yarn, but I don't care. I'm having fun, and that's all that matters. So I tried really hard this morning to finish this section. This is the first section. Look at it. Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn it this way. First section of the mystery knit along are honeycombs. Okay. Honeycombs. I'm on the last honeycomb. So I have a little stitch marker where I was last time. There is lots of Luna fur in there. And I have put in a mistake so that my soul is not trapped. But that's it so far. All by colors. Wonderful. Fantabulous. So the next time that you see me, I will have section 1 done. I will tell you the struggle really quickly, and then we're going to wrap this up. Picking up a project like more than 6 months after you start is difficult. Never end before you finish a section in a knitted project. I got so confused that it took me like 2 hours. Not even, no, back up. Okay, that's an exaggeration. It took me an hour and 15 minutes or so to fix my mistakes and keep moving on. And I didn't even have that much to do, as you could see from the stitch marker. So the lesson of the day, do not leave a project until you finish the section, especially when it comes to a Stephen West knit along. That's called, that one's called, this is Shawlography. That one is Slipstravaganza. And I'm super excited to keep going on that and get it finished. The average knitting time for most people that I know was 3 months for that project. And I'm at the section 1 finish line, so that's a good sign. It's the end that I'm worried about. There's like 1,000 stitches on the needle. It's gonna be intense. So I have a little bit of yarn haul. Those are my plans. Just work on Shawlography until I get my Advent holiday countdown boxes. I have one from Ruby and Rose's yarn coming from the United States. I pre-ordered that earlier on in the year, pretty much right after the 2020 Advent had finished, because I watched my friends open it and I was so enabled. She has a lot of pink and purple. I have quite a bit of her yarn. I can't find it in the viewfinder, but I do have quite a bit. I think it's actually up here. And so I pre-ordered that probably in February, I think. And it's 24 days plus a 100 gram skein. Super excited. I don't know what else I have coming, but it'll be fun. And as far as, I should have said this earlier, but maybe you can talk about it in a comment and it'll let people know too. As far as Flossmas or vlogember. I don't know what I would call it. I'm gonna think about it. I'll think about a good name for it. I will have a bonus video every 7th day. I think I talked about this actually. I did talk about it a little bit. I will have a bonus video every 7th day, and I will open up. Yeah, I did talk about it earlier. Okay. Moving on. Haul. I get a mystery club box from Little Bish's Stitches. She's in Germany. I'm supporting EU dyers because then I don't have to pay excess VAT or fees on my yarns, and she has a really good deal for her mystery mini skein club. Each month you get a set of 5 mini skeins and 1 skein, 1 hank of a mohair or silk, like kid silk, whatever you choose on the base that you choose. I choose the base, I think it's called Vamp. Oh no, Tempest, and Vamp. Tempest is the base for my mini skeins, and I believe it's a 75-25 merino nylon, 4-ply, I believe. Yeah, it's not twisted rib, and then I get the Vamp mohair in the mohair. So here we go. You've been warned. If you haven't gotten yours already, please look away. This is the set of mini skeins I got for the month of November. I'll stick it up in your face so you can see those colors nice and bright. This one is called Christmas Time. Let me check. Christmas Town, sorry. Christmas Town. Look at those beautiful pastels. I especially love the speckledy skein, but I love speckled skeins in general. And the mohair is just a plain white mohair, which will go very well with those light pastels if you wanted to put them together and make fuzzy socks out of them, which is probably what's going to happen to all of those mini skein sets. I signed up for the 6-month club, and I think this is month 5. I think. I don't know. And that, my friends, is that. There is something. Oh no, I'm going to open that later on. Thinking. Is there anything else? No. That is it from me today. I think this is the longest Flosstube video that I've made in months. And I just wanted to share. Excuse me, Luna. Luna, cat. Please. I'm trying to exit the video here. This has been the best that I've felt in months. So thank you to all of you who sent me your warm well wishes and words of encouragement and all your love. I really appreciate it. I just needed a few weeks to kind of go and relax on the video making and stuff like that. I think it's really important to look after your mental health, and I had been in denial for a really long time. So the last few weeks, I feel like I've just kind of taken a deep breath and I feel much, much better. So thank you all for that space. I am going to keep an eye out on my mental health because there is a part of me that gets really excited and I just want to share. But sometimes that takes a toll on me. And so for my fellow creators out there, it's really important that you just keep that in check. We all want to see more from you. We all love your face. So we want to see you more and more, but please do not push yourself to the point where you are so mentally exhausted that it's damaging for you. That's super important. So big thank you to everybody who's made it this far. It's been a good month. It's been a really good month, even though crafty wise, it may not seem like it. I will let you all go. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, if you're interacting with me and my channel and other channels here on YouTube as well, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, but you would like to subscribe, I encourage you to do so. It is free. On this channel on YouTube, subscriptions are free. And if you want to sign up for YouTube Premium, that is totally up to you and your watching habits. But for me personally, I love it. I want to thank you all for everything that you've done, all the comments that you leave me, even if it's an emoji. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Take care, stay safe, don't forget to take your meds, and stay hydrated. And I will see you here next Wednesday for another Flosstube update. Take care, friends. Bye.